Hey tankers, and welcome back to World of Tanks with PR154, and we are once again on location, and we are watching Resonance0726 of the Vicious Hawks clan in the Tier 10 Czech heavy tank, the Vz.55. This is a vehicle that continues a lot of the traditions of the other Czech heavy tanks, particularly Škoda T56. They have the two-shot autoloader, still at 130 millimeters. This one is dropping 490 hit points of alpha per shot, and gun handling on this one is a little bit improved over Škoda T56, which is very handy. Penetration does feel a little bit on the low side. Your standard shells are punching through 260 millimeters of armor, while the premium stuff is punching through 306 millimeters of armor. So he has gone to the premium shells as a bit of a first resort here, and I guess that's somewhat of the norm at Tier 10, and with 260 millimeters of penetration on the standard stuff, it might not really be adequate for what he's coming to expect on the first corner. So moving up to the hull down position initially and making good use of the 8 degrees of gun depression on Vz.55. Do we have contact? Yes, first contact with IS-7. Manages to land a tracking shot into Resonance here. Also another Vz.55. It manages to land a penetrating hit on Resonance, but Resonance is able to land 2 on the enemy Vz.55 in return. So a 2-for-1 trade, I'll take that any day. We can see there's FV455 moving to the rear support position, so they'll have to be a little bit wary of that, trying not to overextend. And see, AE Phase 1 has gone wide, and Resonance has punished them. And just after 2 clips, he's been able to collect quite a happy swath of damage here. They've got the Tier 9 Russian heavy tank STI playing hull down, and Resonance is able to land quite a precise penetrating shot into the cupola. Now that cupola itself is quite tough. We're still not seeing a lot of green on the penetration indicator with this with the Vz.55 with its 306 millimeters of penetration. So so he's doing quite well to be able to hit that spot consistently. So now we've got a full mag. We're ready to go again. Just peeking, trying to bait a shot from the STI before they commit. Now you can see, watch what this STI is doing. They are raising their gun barrel and turning their turret slightly, and that makes it very difficult for Resonance to land penetrating hits on that cupola. It's just that gun barrel being in the way. Unfortunately, they've pulled back a little bit too far to the point they're starting to take side shots from Resonance's teammates that are working the other side there down at J1. So caught in a bit of a crossfire there as things start to deteriorate for the enemy team in this corner. This has left the STI in a one-shottable position. And sort of one more mistake is going to cost it rather dearly. Of course, Resonance's team is going to have to fight their way through this corner fairly quickly. We can see things starting to collapse in the north. Grill A15 is actually the last friendly tank left alive in the north at the moment. We can see the scores are roughly even. They've each taken 5 kills, hit point position roughly equal as well. So they're going to have to work really hard to flex their numerical advantage here. You can see a couple of friendly teammates have already headed back towards the cap circle. A swing and a miss and a tracking shot on the enemy Vz.55 there, but has been able to slow it down enough to get certainty on the second penetrating shot. So Resonance's team finally able to exert some control in this area. Still a couple of rather scary vehicles left, not least of which is the FV455. We're looking for a couple of sneaky shots to the roof while we're at it there as well. Dialing in. Unfortunately, not able to get it. Someone's been able to give that Vz.55 a bit of a smack earlier, left it in a one-shottable position. And Resonance is ultimately able to capitalise on that for their second kill of the game, doing quite well on the damage front with 4,000 picked up so far, but we still have a ways to go. You can see we've got a chance of penetration on the roof of this, on the roof of the enemy vehicle there, but wasn't quite able to punch through. So we still have the Grille 15 to deal with, but I think with sound numerical advantage in the south and enemy vehicles appearing to take control of the cap circle, the time to push forward is now. And we're able to see the Wz.120 and knock it out. That's one less enemy vehicle. But that still leaves 3 in the north, and the Emil 2 last we saw was not on a very healthy hit point position. A bit of a moment of indecision. Do we try to kill the southern area quickly and move out, or do we try to engage targets in the north? Now at the moment, this is one of the probably a slightly lamentable decision by the enemy team at this point in time. Do you cap out or kill all? And certainly with the numerical advantage that they had in the north, that wasn't quite an overwhelming numerical advantage. Perhaps capping out might have been a more sensible choice, but there's been a bit of greed all around. And now with a lot of low hit point vehicles around, this is where Resonance is really starting to make use of the 2-shot auto-loading 130mm main gun. You can see the Vz.55 has probably dived into its mag a little bit here. It's not punching out the shots quite as quickly as you'd expect an Italian auto-reloading medium to have done. And so it's just that loss of ability to cause sustained damage has cost it and sent it back to the garage ultimately. But this just leaves 2 enemy vehicles and 2 friendly vehicles between Resonance in the Vz.55 and his teammate in the 50TB. Now Resonance has already taken 6 kills here, and over 5,600 hit points of damage, so it's having a fantastic game so far. Will they be able to carry it? We know the enemy object 140 was on a fairly sick hit point position last we saw it, but this STI has been able to hold itself together quite well. We're pretty well out of the APCR that had helped them out so much earlier in the game in terms of defeating the cupola armor and turret armor of the STI in the earlier engagement. So we're really going to be having to go for weak points here and body shots. Unfortunately, in spite of loosing the heat rounds at Resonance, this enemy STI is just not able to make its shots land. This is more and more bounces, is making excellent use of the fantastic turret armor, and using some fallen teammates as hard cover as well, so they've been able to survive that engagement quite nicely. Probably also worth noting here, Resonance has been able to get some headway on the honours condition for Coalition 7 for the Object 279E, where the had already satisfied the primary condition going into this fight, but the honours condition had eluded him at that point in time. So in 3 battles in a row, Resonance will have had to have destroyed 3 enemy vehicles of 2 different types. Now with 7 kills to his name, that's going to be quite a menu of different vehicles that he might be able to capitalise on. So let's take a quick look at the results and see how he did. So a very well-deserved Ace Mastery badge there for Resonance0726 of the Vicious Hawks clan in the Tier 10 Czech heavy tank of Vz.55. We've also picked up a couple of these Epic and Battle Heroes medals, the High Calibre medal for accounting for at least 20% of the hit point pool of enemy vehicles. And look at this, over 7,200 hit points of damage inflicted on the enemy. We've also picked up the Top Gun medal for accounting for at least 6 kills on the enemy team, and he's hit the upper limit of that at 7 kills, just one short of a Radley Walters. And if we have a look at the honours condition there for Coalition 7 for the Object 279E, you needed to kill 3 different enemy vehicles of 3 different classes. So what have we got? Grille 15, Tank Destroyer, we've got the ST-1, which is a heavy tank, and then Progetto M46, WZ-120, UDES 1516, they're medium tanks. So it's 3 different classes of tank covered. So got to be happy with that. Having a look at these badges of merit here, we've got the Bruiser medal for causing damage to enemy modules at least 5 times in the course of the game. We've also picked up the Duelist medal for destroying at least 2 enemy vehicles that will cause damage to his vehicle in turn. The Fire for Effect medal, which I don't really think needs any explanation here, and the Shellproof medal for where total damage blocked by armor has exceeded the hit points of this vehicle. Now that's over 2,600 hit points of damage blocked, and probably half of that has come from the last engagement with the STI that was firing a lot of heat shells there at Resonance, but unfortunately was not able to land them, possibly on account of that very nice 70mm thick spaced armour to the turret facing, and Resonance's excellent use of Fallen Comrades as hard cover. Having a look at the team scores, this is a very convincing top by XP placement. It's still 40% higher than the next one, who was the friendly 50 TP. It was also quite instrumental in defending that corner towards the end of the game. Special mention on the enemy team to Mafia Punisher in the Object 140. Had an excellent game themselves, 2 kills and nearly 5,500 hit points inflicted on the enemy. Unfortunately, just didn't have a lot of juice or hit points left in the tank by the end of it. 70 hit points by the time they came to engage Resonance and Kang, so left them on quite a vulnerable position there. They weren't quite able to carry this time around. Having a look at the detailed report, this was quite an expensive game here for Resonance, which thanks to battle payments running could have been a 60,000 credit deficit. I guess in large part that was due to the ammunition bill. We've sort of used most of the premium APCR rounds, but I guess under the circumstances, what running the APCR has been able to keep this vehicle relevant at all stages of the game, whether it's engaging enemies frontally or engaging them from the side. Typically, and I think the intent of this vehicle is to play in more of a supporting sort of role, where you might be popping out and using your double clip on enemies on the reload, where you might have more of an opportunity to engage weak spots. But in this case, Resonance hasn't had to wait, but it's been a little bit expensive as a result. But nevertheless, that has contributed to a fantastic damage score here for Resonance0726, the Vicious Hawks clan. And if you've got a game that you'd like to share with the community, please reach out over Discord or any of the links below, and we'll do our best to sort you out. In the meantime, take care out there.